Okay, we've got Dave Vance with us this afternoon.
Hey, Dave.
We have that, I'll take the, I'll put that right here.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
We have a little packet here for you. You can go ahead and sit down, get comfortable, open your water. Just to tell us and the cameras who you are. And it's also a souvenir from your experience here with us today.
In position.
This is the summary score sheet where we take and average all the score sheets that each vetter fills out on the questions. We have what you had in your hand, rules for the vetting procedure that Denise is going to read, and then the permission to videotape. Okay, you got a pen, good.
Here are the rules. No one is allowed to be in the room except for the vetting panel and the candidate. All electronics shall be turned off except for laptops and video recorders used by the vetting panel. Cell phones or voice recorders shall be turned off in the room. No written materials or notes will be taken by the candidate. Ellis County Tea Party vetting panel and candidate agree that all questions and responses at this vetting session are to remain confidential until videos are uploaded and considered public information on the ECTP website at www.elliscountyteaparty.org. Verbal questions will be asked and verbal responses to those questions will be given. Answers will be limited to 2-minute questions. 2-minute answers. During the video session, no follow-up question will be asked, nor will a candidate be giving any explanation of the question. Candidates may request a repeat of the question at the time the question is first asked. The candidate may request a copy of the vetting interview recording for a fee of $5. Recordings will not be released until the video is posted on ECTP website, www.elliscountyteaparty.org, and the fee has been received. Any questions?
Nope, I understand it all.
Okay, Bill's got.
Okay, I will explain the format today. Our format will be, first we will introduce ourselves to you in the camera, well, to the back of the camera. Then you will have an opportunity for a 3-minute opening statement. We have 10 questions with 2-minute answers. And then after that you will have another opportunity for a 3-minute closing statement. I am the timekeeper, and at the 30-second point, I will waive this until I see you notice it.
Okay.
And at the end of that 30 seconds, this will go off until you hush.
Okay.
So you'll see the red, you'll hear the noise. Everybody will hear the noise until I can find the button. So with that, my name is Bill Carson. I am a member of this Ellis County Tea Party Vetting Committee. We thank you for coming. We thank you for your participation. And I guess we're doing it to help restore the Republic.
I'm Randy Clemens. I'm also a member of the Ellis County Tea Party Steering Committee. I'm in this to restore freedoms at every level, county, state, and federal. And welcome.
I'm Linda Bounds. I'm a member of the Ellis County Tea Party Steering Committee, and I'd like to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Harlan Bounds, Ellis County Tea Party Vetting Committee. Thank you for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm Denise DeLara. I'm also part of the Ellis County Tea Party Steering Committee, and thank you for coming this afternoon.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
And I'm Michael DeLaura, a member of the Ellis County Tea Party Steering Committee, and honored to be asked to serve on the vetting committee. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come out here.
Oh, thank you, and I know how much time that you guys have invested in this as well.
Okay, it's your turn.
Okay, my name is Dave Vance, running for County Commissioner, Precinct 4. The qualifications that I have, well, there's more to County Commissioner than just road and bridge maintenance. We set property tax rates, manage the budget, and make decisions that affect every resident in Ellis County. My experience working for multiple Fortune 500 companies, everything from being regular average day worker, programming on computers, all the way up to managing teams. Got hold a bachelor's degree in business management, and that will bring experience, business management experience, or actual business experience to the Commissioner's Court. I believe I am the only candidate with a college degree. I am the only candidate that has been going to the Ellis County Republican Party meetings on a regular basis. I was formerly a precinct chairman of Precinct 106 in the Republican Party. I also attend Commissioners Court meetings on a fairly regular basis. I'm the only candidate that does so. I have been active in the community for quite a while. Born in Irving, Texas, raised in Texas throughout my entire life. I did move out of state for about a year and a half, came back very quickly, and moved to Waxahachie in '94. And that sums it up. You're welcome.
Very good. Okay, to the questions. Our general topics category. Define for us the roles and responsibilities of a county commissioner, and what are your qualifications to fill a position?
I covered most of that in my opening, but for the audience that'll be watching this later, I do hold a business management degree, or bachelor's of business management. Routinely go to the Commissioners Court meetings, stay active, and I read the agendas as they come out twice a month. If there's anything I want to speak on, I do show up to the court. I do call our county commissioners, stay involved. So I know the business going on in the county. I know what needs to be changed, what can be done better, and what's working. I stay in touch with a lot of residents. Some of them activists, some of them just curious residents. I keep informed. And I've got ideas to change a few things. One, I feel like our transparency on the Commissioner's Court is subpar, to say the least. And the road and bridge, I mean, that's a big priority for residents in our county. We have a pretty good road crew, but we need to find ways to fund more maintenance. And that's gonna take, I refuse to raise taxes on the residents. So it's going to take bringing in more grant money, focusing, finding, actually prioritizing our maintenance. Because right now everything's done on just, when somebody complains, if we have the money, do it. We need actual priorities set. Property taxes, I mentioned that, I refuse to raise property taxes. And that's, I mean, we do make other decisions like subplatting properties, and those are fairly routine. And that'll do it.
Question 2. Describe a role that you will carry out noticeably different than the other candidates running.
That's a hard question to answer because some of my opponents have not really gone through their full platforms or the decisions that they'll make. I do know, I mean, I keep repeating that I won't raise taxes. I know one of my opponents has made that commitment as well. The other one says he tries not to. I pledged that I won't raise taxes. Seeking grant money to bring back into our county, that's one thing that I'm doing on my pushing on my campaign that I haven't heard the other candidates say. Because we do need more funds, but it does not need to be on the backs of taxpayers. Transparency. One of my opponents is pushing for the same ideas that I am for increased transparency. The other opponent, I don't know his stance, so I mean, it's really a hard question to answer without knowing their full views. I just know what I'll do.
All right, the next section is In God We Trust. What does In God We Trust mean to you?
Oh, it's everything about us. It's a feeling, it's the way you live your life, it's the way you interact with people. I have trust in my God. He has instilled trust in me to be the best person I can. And it's what our nation was founded on. I mean, it's what our currency is backed behind. Our currency is nothing than paper, but there's a meaning behind it. There's a meaning behind our lives, and it all goes back to God.
Texas, national and Texas sovereignty. What role does the county commissioner play interacting with the county sheriff?
We manage his budget, it's the most obvious. I mean, we have no authority over the sheriff. We can work with him, give him the money, or help him find ways to reduce his budget to avoid raising taxes. But we don't have any authority over what he does as his job on a daily basis. We only have authority over his budget. And I won't cut the budgets if it's gonna jeopardize safety. And our sheriff does a really good job of managing his budget as well. I believe in the last budget cycle, in the previous budget cycle, he has kept his budget low without forcing any increase on taxpayers. And I'll continue working with him, finding ways that we can improve public safety and finding ways to make the office more efficient.
Number 5, this is under fiscal responsibility. Can you identify any areas within the Ellis County government where spending can be cut, and in what ways do you plan to lower taxes in Ellis County?
I'd have to consult with the staff of other departments to know for sure. I mean, details, I know there are areas we can cut budgets. Been talking to one of the other commissioners, current commissioners, about looking into it more. I do know that we were told whenever taxes were increased a few years ago, that the budget was cut as minimal as it could be. And I went to a commissioners court meeting to where they authorized $3,000 for an employee party during the worst recession that we've experienced since the Great Depression. And I appreciate our county employees. They work hard, they should be recognized for it. But you can't go spending taxpayer money for fun after we were told that the budget was cut as thin as it could be. And nothing's off the chopping block either. I mean, I don't want to get in the position of defunding, or not fully defunding, but partially defunding a county office without working with the managers in those offices. I want to work with them to find out areas we can cut. I mean, public safety is very efficient, and well, in the court systems, and we do have some control over this, videoing arrestees when they're being arraigned. We can do that through video instead of having to haul them in to the courtroom every time. I believe one of the candidates running for judge has mentioned that. And that's something the Commissioners Court can take action on and try to push through.
Question 6, still under fiscal responsibility. What is your position regarding the practice of centralizing equipment and material supplies for road and bridge?
I am a big supporter of that. It'll save not only manpower, it'll save resource cost, maintenance cost also. There's no reason why we need to duplicate some of the equipment that we have, especially if it's going to be sitting around. The county engineer, everything can go under him. Oh, this brings up an interesting situation because residents hold their county commissioners responsible for the maintenance of their roads. When you turn it over, yes, we would still have some control over it, but we're at the mercy of the county engineer or whoever gets appointed to overseeing the maintenance of the entire county. There are ways that can be handled. One, the county engineer does have to answer to the commissioners, or just take that responsibility away from the commissioners. I did speak with a judge, I cannot remember what county he was in, spoke to a judge down in a small county. He said it worked really well for them, cut their budget dramatically, but they were running into situations to where county commissioners were being held responsible for something that they had no control over anymore. But I fully support it. There's ways we can do it, and it will decrease costs.
Okay, my turn. What can be done to improve the budget process, making it easier for the public to have input in that process?
Well, this goes back to the transparency issue and meeting times. Public hearings are held, but they're held during the day. There's multiple meetings being held. Residents cannot just take off work anytime they want. I mean, they have to schedule it ahead of time. Some people don't have the option, the finances to take off work. The public hearings need to be held at different times throughout the process where residents can show up. Media needs to cover those after every meeting. And this is supposedly being done now, but the Commissioners Court packets are starting to show up online, or supposed to be starting to show up online. That is another process that needs to happen. Residents right now, and I was one of them up until a couple of years ago, we don't know what's going on in the Commissioners Court. We don't have an interest to go follow it because we don't understand it. Just make the information available. Make the information available, it will generate interest. That's the biggest thing to get people involved in the community, knowing what's going on through the budget process. Now, is that efficient? It's just as efficient as it is now, because we're still holding those public hearings, and those public hearings are required by law as well. And everything the Commissioners Court does has to be done in public. So it's gonna be kind of hard to streamline it, since everything does have to be done in the public's view. It's not like we can go behind closed doors with the commissioners, other commissioners, and discuss it. I would be able to go to each individual office and discuss cost savings with them, as long as I do not interact with the other commissioners or be violating Texas Open Meetings Act.
Question 8 comes under personal responsibility. Relevant to the position you are seeking, what is your first and foremost responsibility to the people of Ellis County?
My first and foremost responsibility is to be a good steward of their tax dollars. Second responsibility is to actually listen to them, find out what their concerns are in the county and address them if I can. I know you can never make everybody happy all the time, or you can't make everybody happy any of the time. But you have to listen to people, know what they're going through. County commissioner can't be on every road every single day. If there's debris out on the roads, trees that need to be trimmed, roads that need to be maintained. And everybody's going through different stages in their life as well, as far as financial situations. We just need to be understanding and serve the public. I mean, that's what this job is. I'm a servant of the public. I represent them on the Commissioners Court.
All right, our next question is under rule of law. It is relevant to the position you are seeking. Explain how important it is to have a working knowledge of the Constitution, and do you have that knowledge?
Yes, I have that knowledge. It is very important. Now, the Constitution, a lot of that grants specific privileges to the federal government. Any privileges that are not granted to the federal government fall back on the states and the people, the 9th and 10th Amendments. I have a duty to, no matter what position in government you hold, whether it's from a local level, federal level, you have a responsibility to follow the Constitution to a T. That's our rule of law, the Constitution. I won't do anything that violates the Constitution, period. States are granted more rights than the federal government, and that's our role. I mean, we're sovereign states.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Dave, how many articles and how many amendments to the U.S. Constitution?
7 articles, 27 amendments.
Question 10, limited government. Last question. What is your position regarding the North Central Texas COG?
Oh. I don't think too highly of it. Trying to pick my words here. But unfortunately, we're kind of stuck being involved with it. There are federal mandates and state mandates that we must follow and be involved with. One is indigent care. And the COG covers, so many different things. Planning, community plannings, transportation planning between the counties. We almost have to be involved because this is where a lot of our grant money comes back into the counties. So like it or not, we have to be involved in it. To change it, we're gonna have to do that at the legislature level, and that's something that I don't have authority over as a county commissioner. but I can work with our state legislatures. I do want to get nominated to the committees on the COG. I want to see actually firsthand what goes on, what's being discussed. And they do have open meetings as well. I've never attended one. It's taking power away from the counties to run their governments how they want. But it's been mandated by the state government.
Okay, you get a 3-minute closing.
As I've answered some of my questions in my opening, my qualifications, I mean, I would be a good match to be selected for county commissioner. Reduced raise property taxes. I believe in full transparency of the commissioner's court. We need to do a better job at that. I want the public to be more involved in their own government. Its participation is low right now. And back when the meeting times were at 6 p.m., participation was low. So I want to change that. Change the meetings back to 6 p.m. Give people an opportunity to show up. Whether they show up or not, beside the point. At least government is accessible to them. I want government to be accessible to them. I want to be accessible to them. And, I mean, I want to work for the citizens. I want to make a change. I'll finish it.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.